just for the sake of other people who aren't able to be here, but don't worry, everyone, this won't go anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just to everybody in the group.
Yeah, just the people that are on the program. So yeah, definitely. So yeah, we can go ahead and start. We'll like Sarah Lee mentioned, we'll record this. You all have met Sarah Lee already through the email. I'm Matt Reeves, Director of Archaeology. We have Alex Jones, Dr. Jones is here with us as well, who we're partnering with the program and who set this up. You know, we've been doing this for about
5 years.
6 years.
You can't count last year. Last year was like the blip. So technically,
Yeah.
You're the 5th year.
The 5th year.
Yeah.
It should have been 6 years, but it's the actual 5th program. So, but yeah, just wanted to go through some basics. You know, what we wanted to do is talk about COVID and safety. And Sarah Lee sent you all the survey that asks about vaccinations, and we wanted to let you know it is absolutely not required to be vaccinated. If you don't feel comfortable with divulging your vaccination status, that's fine. What we would like to do, though, is for those of you all that are vaccinated and you feel comfortable, having you all in like a single 5 foot by 5 foot unit would be great. And so this is something to think about before you get here. We'll have enough space on the site with 8 participants so we can spread people out, but we can also put people together, which sometimes works better for the site we're working on. Yeah, for basic logistics, Sarah Lee will be sending out, you probably already have the basic information about what to bring and where Montpelier is and some of the readings. In a couple of weeks, Sarah Lee will send out the specifics for the dinner at Arlington House, which will be at 5 o'clock on Sunday night. And the week before the program, we'll do a Zoom session where I'll give a background lecture on what's called the Power of Place, more of the history of Montpelier and a little bit more about the site we're going to be working on, and give you all a better sense of how what we're doing this during the week of excavations fits into some of the other history and research that we're up to at Montpelier. But for some of the basics, I think we were able to manage today. Sarah Lee pulled the rabbit out of the hat of getting everybody on the property, which is awesome. So like actually living and housing on the property, which is fantastic. That there was a group that had reserved the housing at Montpelier before, and Sarah Lee was able to find out that group is no longer coming. So you'll be able to actually stay on the property, which will be great. And that has its benefits.
So Matt, I just want to jump in because I know a few of you have emailed me, and then a few people who are not here. Yay, with the camera. So with that said, I know a few people emailed me about transportation, housing, boarding, and everything else. And I said we would be at a hotel. So that has now since changed because our ultimate goal was to have you on property. And now that big group canceled, we're able to be on. But with that said, transportation wise, you still need a car to get back and forth. So I do want to put that out because I've had one teacher reach out to me and ask about carpooling. And the issue is depending on how you're getting to Montpelier. So just covering logistics, if you're flying in, you may want to rent a car in order to drive in, and then you would probably want to rent for the week. I had one person who was interested in doing an Uber from like Charlotte Airport into Orange, which is somewhat reasonable, but then wanted to carpool with people during the week, back and forth. And because we're so close and we're on property, you may not actually need the day-to-day because you can actually walk to the site, which is way different than before because this is the first time teachers have been this close to the site. Normally they're staying at Arlington House. So I would like to flip that if it's only 8 people, but I do know we have a few people who are driving in. If you are okay with, maybe carpooling with some folks like for evening things or that sort of thing, I think that would be great. But I do want to bring out that it's not necessary for the day-to-day. So to get back. However, things to think about if you do choose to not rent a car for the week or you don't have a vehicle is that grocery store run. You probably will need to make a grocery store run or may want to just go out in the evenings. Orange is fairly small, but not small enough that you can walk off the property into downtown Orange. So if you are very much a by yourself person or, don't feel comfortable with being around other people right now in this particular environment, that might be something you need to think about as far as having a car. The other thing is you might want to explore. So some of you may want to actually go to Charlottesville for like dinner one night to have like a more upscale. So just thinking kind of about that. But I did want to, if everybody is okay with it, and I will send an email out this week or Monday of next week, actually, because we're already halfway through this one. Just asking, are you okay with sharing emails? Because there are a few teachers who are inquiring. So if people are okay with like potentially carpooling and that sort of thing, that would be great. But keeping in mind with us staying now in the village, you don't actually need a car mandatory day to day to get from the actual where you're staying to the site. You just have to make kind of 20-minute walk. And it's very picturesque as you're walking. So it's not even like a big walk. But I did want to put that out because that was a main concern that I had quite a few emails about. But just also keeping in mind grocery shopping, if you want to go out, if you want to be social, if you want to sightsee outside of the days, there are nice wine vineyards around as well. Just throwing that out. They all kind of close around like 6. So it's always like a mad dash from the field to the wine vineyard, but that's also something else that you might want to think about if, just in your week there as well, if you want to do. So.
And we've had some new restaurants open in Orange. We actually have a, what's called Iron Pipe Brewery, which is people really like. It's it's a brew house and has good pizza. So there's some up and coming things happening in Orange. So. And a number of venues have outdoor dining, which is great. So, but yeah, Monday and Tuesday are slim pickings in Orange because a lot of places are not open on on Monday and Tuesday. But yeah, like you were saying, Sarah, Charlottesville is definitely want to make your way to Charlottesville. So, yeah, and for the day, we start earlier in the morning. You'll be, in the field by 8 o'clock excavating. We'll have a schedule for you all on the first day on Monday when you get here. But the normal day is going to be doing field excavations in the morning or doing lab. And we like to do that in the morning because, it gets up to in August or in July, it's going to be 90 degrees out. And in the afternoon is when Dr. Jones does the practicum sessions, in the classroom, or it's going to be in the open field lab. So, and we're gonna work that out as we get closer. What we do is, just so you know, Dr. Jones, Mary Furlong Minkoff, Dr. Minkoff has started to open up the lab again as well, which is great. So for use, like today was a rain day and everybody was in the lab. So, but again, that is something that we have both options that we can do, and we're gonna, as we move along and see how comfortable people are, we'll figure that out. But there's options for all outdoor activities. But we usually end the day around 4 o'clock, and that, like Dr. Jones said, that gives you plenty of time to be able to get out and explore the area. We're going to do as much, front loading as we can with the Zoom lecture the week before the program. And definitely if there's information that you all are interested in receiving from some of the readings, has everybody had a chance to look at the readings and look over the packets that Sarah Lee has sent out? Everybody has those? Thumbs up if you do. Okay,
we have
awesome.
a question about where will they be excavating? What location?
Yeah, we are. We didn't know how far we were going to get with a field school. I think it's going to be very likely that we're going to be either continuing at the blacksmith shop where we're at right now, which is 1820s blacksmith shop, or be at a blacksmith shop that's down over the next ridge. So it's a lot of these are what we're working on over the next year are these sites of labor, where enslaved Americans were producing items for the plantation, and just the items we're getting are absolutely amazing. I mean, to be able to hold the products of labor, at these sites is just incredibly powerful. It offers some really nice ways to get to know the actions of the enslaved here at Montpelier. So that is the site we're at right now is just down the hill from the visitor center. For logistics, we do have a porta potty at the site, and we'll be looking to move that when we move to the other site, or get another one if we need to. But we've got, for transportation at the site, we've got a gator. So if you need to get someplace quick, we can zip you over. If you don't want to walk up and down the hills, we can have the gator available, and somebody can shuttle you where you need to go. So we've got, have a lot of flexibility in that area. We've seen, a lot of different participants on the dig through the years, and we've learned how to we want to make everybody comfortable with the week. It's not the point of the week is not to get as much labor as we can out of you. The point is to learn. So, and everybody learns in different ways, and we really want to have people be able to take the information they're learning at the site and then apply it with Dr. Jones's lectures in the afternoons. So, but does anybody have any questions about the week from what you've seen? The nice thing about the housing is that there's a kitchen, there's kitchens in the houses, because Sarah Lee, do you know, is everybody going to be in house 8, or is it going to be, or do you not know yet? It's fine if you don't.
Just made these arrangements, so I don't know just yet. And I'm still kind of shocked that they let me do it.
Yeah, well, you did wonders with that, Sarah Lee. Thank you. So I'm pretty sure we'll be using house 8, and that does have a kitchen. And so if you're in a house that doesn't have a full kitchen, you can probably, be nice to your fellow expeditioners and go over and use that kitchen. So we've got some flexibility with that. So.
We'll make sure that happens. I feel pretty darn certain at this point I can finagle that. So you all should be pretty comfortable. And again, as they mentioned, just drawing on different people's comfort levels with being vaccinated or sharing spaces and all that. We'll keep all of that in mind. But worst case scenario, if all of you need your own bubble, we can make that happen as well. So relatively speaking, so we'll make sure you have at least the very basics, I can promise.
The best thing to do, like Sarah Lee is alluding to, is if you have any concerns or needs, let Sarah Lee know sooner rather than later. Yeah. And then she can make sure we've got things set when you arrive. The easiest thing is to know in advance if you have anything that you need with the program. And for the daily work at the site, it is that there's not the amount of walking that's needed to get to the site we're going to be at is probably about about 1/8 of a mile walk from where you park your car. So it's not that far, but there is some slightly steep slopes to go down. If anybody needs to, we can always meet you at the parking lot with a gator and bring you down there. Just like I said, we can accommodate. We've seen it all. We've had over 1,500 people on our programs over the past, 15 years. So there's nothing new now, and we'd love to see new things. So, but just let us know. That's the important thing.
With that said, kind of re-emphasizing, please, and just things to think about. If it's I don't want to carpool, or if it's I need my own space, I don't want to share a bathroom. If it's I don't want to share kitchen, whatever it is, because we do recognize with COVID, if it's I would prefer to be in my own unit, or I prefer being outside with a mask, those sort of things, we would like to know, just so that we can also just respect everybody's boundaries. This is a very precarious time. And we do want this to be a welcoming experience where everybody feels safe and it's open to. So I just wanted to put all those things out, that if you have some of those things, or even if you would like to carpool with somebody, also send us an email and let us know as well, because, you'll make friends on your own. We won't create friend groups for you, but most times I've always lived with the teachers on every expedition. So this is the first time this has been spread out even for me. So, I mean, normally we've had pizza night and we've gone out and done stuff. So we tend to bond by the second night because you have nothing to do and it's crickets. So you bond very quickly with everybody. But yeah, just kind of let us know. I like to have feelers for these sort of things. So if you do want to, you feel comfortable jumping in the car with everybody. So if we do have a trip, we know to ring everybody's phone in all the houses to say that we're going to the restaurant together, we're driving to Charlottesville together, we're going to this vineyard. So just kind of, let us know. That way I know, because I tend to be with you versus more of the regular staff. So, yeah.
And I also just want to point out that Montpelier has done several expeditions during the time of COVID, and they've all been incredibly successful. And we started our first guinea pig were JMU student teachers, and there were 13 of them.
There were 13, yeah.
There were 13, and it went swimmingly. So, I mean, if you think about it, no greater socially distanced activity than having your own hole to dig in. So, but I just want to relay, you are all at this point not guinea pigs. We've got a great system. So I just want to let everyone know that so far. At this point, I think we've got a really, really good system. So you should feel very comfortable telling us whatever you need.
And again, the best, if you communicate that with Dr. Jones and Sarah Lee, that would be, they'll get that information out there.
So for the lunches, like during the day, and I know you said you're going to have a schedule closer to time, but does everybody normally go back to the house to eat, or do we need to like plan to bring food with us to the site?
Yeah, it's bag lunch. It's similar to school. Bring your lunch every day and we eat outside together. So
that's what I figured. I just wanted to be sure. So when I'm trying to figure out like groceries and that sort of thing, what to plan for. Okay.
And the visitor center, we used to have a visitor center that had a cafe, and that is no longer open. That closed with COVID and is not reopened. So like Dr. Jones said, you need to plan on bringing, your everything you'll need for the day. You'll want to bring it with you, because you wouldn't have a chance to get back to the house.
Gotcha. Perfect. Thank you.
With that said, though, we're all teachers. So think like a teacher, get you the good cooler bag that'll keep whatever you have, like, because it's hot outside, 4 hours of it sitting outside. Yeah. So kind of just think of those little things too, or food that you don't mind warm. Not necessarily the mayonnaise sandwich, but something else. So yeah, just kind of keep those things in mind as well. When you make your bag lunch.
And we have tents for all the units, like pop-up tents, and then you'll be able to, if you want to keep your bag at the main field lab where there's a big tent, it's like a 30 by 40 tent, you can put your things under there. And yeah, having it secured is always good, because there's also ants and things like that. So it'd be good to be able to have it up off the ground. So.
Thinking like a teacher, will we be informed of any food allergies beforehand? Because I would hate to, pack a peanut butter sandwich and someone have, a reaction to it.
Yeah, we'll be eating out in the open, so I don't think that would be a problem. I think Sarah Lee has sent you all a form where you put in your food allergies, because for Sunday night and for the Friday reception, we want to know what your allergies are, so no one needs their EpiPen. So
I would say though, in your respective homes, just kind of keeping that in mind. We've never had a problem before, like we buy a whole trough of food and it's literally been everybody in one house before, and everybody kind of goes back and forth, but just maybe, because that peanut allergy is real, I'm thinking to ask just before you go grocery shopping. And a lot of people go grocery shopping Sunday either before the dinner or Sunday after the dinner. So just thinking about that as well. And also maybe planning that into your trip. If you think you're going to be super tired, maybe getting there a little bit earlier so you can run to the grocery store before the actual dinner, and unpack. And then, after the dinner, you can go right to bed because your first day is like early. It's early for me. So just kind of thinking of those sort of things. So you don't go to the grocery store and get in at like 9 and then, bed late. So. Any other questions?
Cool. Well, it looks like, oh, go ahead.
I'm
go
sorry,
ahead,
I had a
Sarah.
quick question.
Yeah.
So I remember in the list they talked about like what to bring to the dig site, and one of them was like kneeling pad, and I almost thought about my old knee pads that I wore in volleyball. But I was wondering, would maybe a little stool work as well? Like
Knee,
little camping stools, or like that big.
if the knee pads are what you really want, because you're gonna
Okay.
want to be down in the unit working. And some people kneel and excavate at the unit. Some people lie beside the unit and excavate. So we've had some people bring like a yoga mat that they can lay on and then excavate beside.
Okay.
them. So that works as well. But on a stool, if you're sitting on the stool and leaning in, you'd probably just fall in the unit. I wouldn't
Okay,
want to do that.
because it's like a really, really small camping stool. And the reason I ask is I crushed my right knee 10 years ago at the Supreme Court of the United States while they were in session.
Wow, that sounds terrible.
I was taking my little seniors in there, and I distracted Elena Kagan right after she'd been placed on the bench, and I was almost arrested for contempt of court. And whenever I teach Supreme Court, it's like my knee has PTSD. So I just I have nothing in my right knee. It's purely bone on bone. And so I have to like, work around that. But I like the part of bring my yoga mat. I like that, that's an excuse to bring it. So
we've had people who've needed knee surgery, had the knee surgery, and they came back after the knee surgery, like a lot of repeats and yoga mat.
Yeah, I'm trying to push it off as long as I can. Like, no, I do not want to be in my 30s with the knee surgery.
And Mike, you just dropped a question. It isn't obscure. There are no obscure questions. This is what we do. So actually, just for you, I'll bring a PowerPoint slide with dates for nails, so you can just look at it. It's actually, I teach all of my high school students how to date nails with the little slide. So it gives you like a rough time period.
Okay, thank you.
We love nails. We call nails Montpelier gold here at Montpelier. So
can we bring any detection, like metal detector units? I have one.
You won't need that during the program. We're going to be doing our metal detectorist is going to be doing survey during the program. Okay. We'll have you all have an introduction to that. Okay. But with the week between it being just a week long and the practicums during the afternoon, there wouldn't be, we have a whole program. Oh my goodness, Sarah, if you want to do metal detecting, we have a program in November that is built for you. Yeah,
I like metal detecting. I like it a lot. And I'm trying because where my parents live in Central Virginia, it's like a lot of different levels and stuff. And so I'm able to like go through that and I have free roam over a mountain because it's all owned by my family. And so I'm able to do a lot of that. And I'm trying to save up for, more higher end models where I can go, and even into water and stuff. So that'd be really cool in November.
Yeah. We'll send you some information on that, the MDS program.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. If the I think in the information it talks about bringing folding chairs. We do have like hard folding chairs for the lunch site, but if you want to have a camp chair, that's something that you could bring both for the evening and during the day. So, but Oh, will we have roommates? Yeah, that is
You
something
won't
where,
have roommates in the sense of somebody in the room with you. So you will be in your own room, but you will have mates in your house.
Mhm.
So if that helps any.
because I don't think we have anybody that knows each other and wants to room together on this program. So
Yeah, I think this is the first program where we don't have like teacher friends.
mhm. A lot of times we'll have folks that are like, hey, I want a room with George or Sally. So don't have that this time. So,
All right.
well, thank you, everybody. Looking forward to meeting you all in a little over a month. Very excited about having the program. And Alex, can't wait to see you. It's going to be great. So after the COVID hiatus. And definitely, if you have any questions, email us, and we'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you all have. And I know, Kathleen, you said you wanted to see the beginning of this. We're recording this, and I'll send the link to Sarah Lee, and she'll send this out. And I know there's a couple of people that we're missing here, and we'll send it to them as well. So those of y'all that are watching this later, looking forward to seeing you all as well.
And just so everybody knows, it is really tough right now to have a routine with when I'm physically sitting in my office. So the best way to get a hold of me is to email me. And if you prefer to talk on the phone, let me know in the email and I will zip over to my office and call you. It's just not, I don't want to give you a time and then be wrong, because that would be worse. So I will always have my email available if you need to get a hold of me.
All right. Well, thanks everybody, and looking forward to seeing you all in July. So take care. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, Alex.
Bye-bye.
Bye.